Right now I want to show you the RAM-HOL-AP8L, which is the locking cradle for the iPad and iPad 2. First I just want to show you how the lock up here works. There's a little lever up here that comes down and locks your iPad into the cradle. And then using this pin here, when it's out, the lever will come up and down. When in, the lever won't rise. And what you have to do is change your combination to keep that pin locked in place. So if I just turn this barrel there, you can see that pin now doesn't come out and now it's locked in place. Putting it back onto its default combination, it opens and closes. Now to change the default barrel numbers so you can change it to your own, you simply pull this pin out. There's a little notch here that you just push down. Pull that little notch down there like so, pull it down while that pin's out. You can change the combination on the front. Then pull this back up, and now you should be able to push that back in, and the new combination is your new lock number. So that's how that works. I explain it a little bit more in a different video, but that's a quick rundown of how that 4-number barrel works. Now, using this with the original iPad, I have one here. Something to note, there is no up and down on this cradle. You can see here the volume and switch there. You can either put them into the cradle this way and then lift up that notch. You can see there I have access to these ports, obviously nothing there, and then the top ports and buttons. Or I can actually, pulling this pin out, I can actually flip it around and drop it in the bottom side first again, putting it back in, and again now I have my volume on the top side and all my ports and buttons are exposed. RAM's even taken the time to cut a notch either way so your Apple symbol is always showing. So there you go. That's how you use this with the iPad 1. Let's take the thinner and newer iPad 2. Again, the same principles apply. You can drop it in either way. There is no up, there is no down. So you can flip it around and you still have access on this side here to the volume and switch. Now, one thing to note is it is, you can hear it, a little bit looser in this cradle. So what RAM have done is included some bumpers. What these are little rubber bumpers that stand about 9/64 inch high, and they're adhesive backs, and you have 2 of them. And what the idea is to stick one just up in the corner here and another up in this corner here. What that's going to do is fill that void that you need for the iPad 1 so it works cleanly with the iPad 2. So there we go, drop in the iPad. Now we have that all hooked in there. I can now push this pin back in and it locks that in there, no problem. So now that won't come out. You can see there's a little bit of gap there, no question, but it is definitely locked in now that that pin has dropped down and I have got the notch over there. So now my iPad 2 works in the RAM-HOL-AP8L locking cradle for the iPad and iPad 2.